So a little interesting thing I want to talk about when it comes to therapy and healing is a side effect you wouldn't really think is a good one, as I found out today it actually is. Once you go into therapy or you start healing, whichever way it is, you tend to feel more. You tend to become a lot happier, a lot more at peace, a lot more fulfilled, and in general, like your quality of life in here increases. Now, an aspect that might not be considered positive, but it is the fact that you feel your pain a lot more. As in, the pain you're experiencing, the pain you're processing, you feel it to a whole new level. And you're then able to relate experiences that are happening to you now to maybe previous ones. Like say, if an experience is triggering you now, you can start to relate it to previous ones. Now, to make it less confusing, I'll give an example. Recently went through not the nicest breakup. And a lot of the trauma I realized was relating to my father as well. To how my ex treated me versus how my dad treated me. There was all quite similar patterns. A very hard part for me has been the last few days where some unexpected things happened and now I have to go back to London earlier than expected. Almost 3 weeks earlier. I'm flying out tomorrow. That, with the cost of living rising, with the housing crisis in London, everything just got on top of me and I had just constant anxiety for 2 days straight and almost panic attacks, and I just was tossing and turning in bed. I couldn't fall asleep at all, and I ended up just crying 5 times today alone. And yesterday as well, obviously. And in therapy today, I was screaming, I was wailing today after the shower. I was just in so much pain. The breakup has really, the relationship twisted my head in so many ways that I've forgotten actually a lot of things. Like I started just not being able to figure out or realize what was wrong and what was right and what just felt real in this world because of how twisted it got. That obviously brings forth a lot of pain. And with that pain, with any pain, you have to feel it in order to let it go. You can't just brush over an experience, just let it go. As much as people say that, it's complete bullshit. Because you need to heal, and you need to heal and you need to feel. Because if you don't, your body's gonna keep it in you. Because your body keeps your memories. Your genetics keep your memories. Your body keeps the actual score of what's happening in your life. So if you don't feel what's killing you, it's gonna just start silently killing you. So the side effect I was speaking about was that after a few years of therapy, after my own healing journey, after putting in effort to feel and have as much empathy and compassion I can for myself, love as well, I feel a lot more now. I feel a lot happier, a lot more joyful. I feel so much happiness in my life and so much joy and so much love, and I feel people around me as well. But something I didn't realize until today was that I have learned to very deeply feel my pain. My sorrows, my despair, the grief, everything. And it is excruciating. It is f***ing horrible when it's happening. But the upside is, after hours of crying, some wailing, some screaming into a towel or a pillow and just breaking down completely in front of my therapist and just crying for an hour straight in the session, I just felt better. I still, obviously, am going through the situation, and breakups are hard, man. F***ing hard, and they take time. And it's only been a few weeks. I've done a pretty good job of processing things fairly quickly due to the fact I have chosen to feel everything, despite how excruciating it has been. And in therapy today, I was quite literally crying about the fact that I felt like this pain would never end. I felt like it would last forever because it was so excruciating and so consuming, and has been for the past few days. But my therapist assured me and reminded me of the fact that everything ends. These emotions I'm feeling, they will end. These problems I'm going through, they will end. These pains I'm feeling, they will end. Especially because I'm making a constant effort to feel them. And that moment, logically I could have started believing her. Physically I was still in so much pain that it was hard to believe. But even at the end of the session, I felt some joy again. I felt some joy in my chest. I felt like I could breathe again a little bit more. I didn't feel like such a raw wound anymore. I felt like I was happy again, even for a little bit, despite everything happening. An important thing when it comes to feeling your pain and learning to process your emotions and whatever you're going through and then integrating it is the courage. It's the courage, the honesty, and the curiosity. Because you need to have courage to confront those demons, to confront pain that feels like it's ripping you apart and turning you to dust. You need to have the honesty to look at yourself as you are, whether that be in deep pain or finding something new about yourself. And finally, you need to have the curiosity that pain isn't there to hurt you. It's there because it needs the love that you can give it in order to be processed and released. And looking at it with curiosity rather than judgment allows us to remove a lot of the weight that we're already put on ourselves because of it. As well as being curious about the joys in life, the beautiful parts, it's important to be curious about the darker ones, the shadow part of yourself, and to reach out and start to figure out what are these things that are impacting you on a day-to-day basis. And maybe you don't know they're impacting you, but at the end of the day, we all have something in us. We've all lived. So we all have something already in us that we might need to process. And it can be such an exhilarating, curious, and enlightening and just fun experience diving in with curiosity. Notice how curiosity is last on that list because it is so incredibly important. However, to access that type of darkness, we need the courage to be honest with ourselves and the courage to be curious. So, with whatever you're feeling, whether that be happy emotions or just very challenging ones, be mindful of how you approach them because only you can be your own hero, healer, and leader. You're the only one who can heal yourself, and that's something I'm deeply accepting now and trying to embody. And I hope you have the courage to learn to feel your pain deeper. Because while it is a very unexpected side effect, and maybe on first glance not the most positive, it is a life-changing one. Because life is meant to be lived, it's meant to be felt fully, and pain is just part of it. So when you allow yourself to dive deeper into it, you allow yourself to live a bit more. So I hope you find the courage and the honesty and the curiosity out of love for yourself to pursue such endeavors. So I want to walk. What the fuck was that? I want to walk. Oh, now I want my water for comfort. Where the fuck's my water? So, a little interesting side effect I wanted to talk. What the fuck?